Hey everybody, this is the Todd vlog for Saturday, December the 20th, 2008. This is an interesting connection of a couple of different things, all right? Number one, most of you know I've been doing a thing I call the Todd vlog, which is I'm trying to do a daily vlog on YouTube, but I've done a real bad job lately. It's been like an every 3-day vlog thing. And so that's just to YouTube. And I had been sort of just recounting my day, which I enjoy doing, but, you know, sometimes your days are kind of the same from day to day to day to day to day. And so I had this thought of, okay, well, why don't I wait until I've got something to say, and then when that happens, make a Todd vlog specifically themed about a certain thing, about a movie, about something that happened to the family, but the vlog itself is themed in that way. A couple of other things that I like to do is to review worship albums. All right, I do it on worshipnotes.com. Now, Worship Notes is not getting that much action. All right, and that's okay. That's fine. It's not a big deal. And so what I thought I'd do is I'd take Todd Vlog mixed with the reviews from Worship Notes and put them on YouTube, but also here on the Todd blog. Because I have more people who read this thing, more people who have subscription to it and would see when something came out. So you're sort of seeing this interesting, you know, mix of influences and values in my life. And so what I wanted to do is to review a record for you that I picked up through Noise Trade. Okay, if you're not familiar with Noise Trade, you can check it out at noisetrade.com. This actually is a CD called How Sweet the Sound, Remembering Great Hymns of the Faith. Now, this is a CD that's been, as best I can tell, produced by a church, Covenant Life Church. Now, they're based in Maryland. Now, they are a Sovereign Grace Church, which is an association of churches headed up by C.J. Mahaney, and there are many of them all over the country. But I'm pretty sure that this record is just them, okay? It's not, you know, a full-on Sovereign Grace Productions release. It's just this church. And from some of my study, the plan is that these guys would take, you know, 12 hymns and that they would make a CD, and then throughout the year their people would be able to sing these hymns and learn them and also understand theologically what was important about the hymns. The other thing that was kind of going around about this record is that they were going to adhere to the melodic structure of the song. If you're a worship leader, you know this. Hymns these days get changed around a lot. Some churches are cool with that. Some churches love that. Other places don't. Some hymns now have extra parts added on. Some don't. All right. And so this church, Covenant Life Church, if I'm correct, I could be wrong here, but I think what they set out to do is to say, okay, we're not going to really mess with the song a whole lot. It's going to sound like we've always heard it, you know, and we're not going to write extra pieces to it. And a lot of you know, you've tried to do hymns, or maybe you've tried to record hymns. You've tried to utilize them in more modern worship settings. You know they're hard because there's not a lot of dynamics in hymns. It's kind of the, you know, it's the same melody 4 times in a row. So it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to feel like you're doing something important in that, because we're sort of so conditioned to small verses, big chorus, lead, bridge, all those things. Anyway, this record is really interesting. I really applaud them. Just read the track listing to you here. Amazing Grace, Before the Throne of God Above, Praise to the Lord the Almighty, Be Thou My Vision, and Can It Be, Crown Him with Many Crowns, A Mighty Fortress, Be Still My Soul, How Firm a Foundation, Great is Thy Faithfulness. Now, there are a couple of things that I like about this record. Number one, rhythms. That's always the hardest part about doing hymns to me, because some hymns have weird rhythmic structures, and to hear, you know, 12 of these guys play it out, to realize, oh, that's how I play. And I'm not just talking drums, but even acoustic guitars, or what is the keyboard doing? You know, how do we build some flow into this thing? How do we make this feel for a congregation like they can engage in what they're doing? They're not having to count. It's just, it feels really natural because the band is setting up a nice, comfortable bed, musical bed for them to just sort of follow. So that's one thing I like about it. Two, I like that there's some songs in there that we don't sing a lot of in church today. Not that they're going real rare, but they're doing some songs that we've not heard in a long, long time. And sort of pairing even genres together. In other words, you may have a church that sings before the throne of God above, and sometimes a church that would sing that type of song would not sing Amazing Grace. Maybe it's more of a high church setting or more of a rural church or whatever the case may be. And I like that they've grouped all these sort of songs together. Now, there are a couple of things I don't like about the record. Number one, some of the vocals on the record are not that great. Some are outstanding. Some of these voices I've even recognized from other Sovereign Grace releases. So it makes me think there might be some organizational influence in that. But anyway, but some of the vocals are just not that great. However, if this is being done by a church, I'm sure they're using the people they have. I totally understand that. But for me, a little bit of a distractor. To be listening to a song, think, oh man, I've never done that song. How's it work? And then just to have a vocal that's just not good. And I know you can look past it, but sometimes it's hard to look past it. The other thing, back to the rhythm issue, there are a few songs in here that are so complicated, I think the drums are distracting. Now, the drums are percussion based. They're doing things correctly. But it just feels sort of jaunty, they're kind of doing these weird syncopated things to sort of make the song work. And so for me, got a little distracting. I think it probably would in a congregational setting. Third thing that was cool that I liked, but then all of a sudden about halfway through the record I didn't like it, and that's key changes. And so many of these songs have modulations in them, which if you're not writing new melodies and if you're not writing new sections, that sort of robs you of all the dynamic tools. I mean, short of a big drum build. So key changes in that sort of situation become real important. But there's a few too many key changes. So that kind of distracted me. I like them. Key changes done well are very, very cool. But there were a lot of key changes in the record. Some song highlights that I thought were great. I liked the Amazing Grace, their take on it. Although they did each verse in a little bit different style with some little bit different chords. They had changed one chord underneath the melody. It sounded like a flat 7 chord or something that wasn't great, but that was kind of good to hear Amazing Grace done in a way that didn't sound sort of, like a hoedown or whatever. Crowning with Many Crowns was very, very good. Definitely had a sort of a U2 with or without you type of thing. A couple of others. Praise to the Lord Almighty was really good, really similar to the Passion version. Be Thou My Vision was weird. It got real loopy and ambient, but I like the song. And sometimes that song suffers because the rhythm is so weird. I think Covenant Life Church did a good job of that. So kind of a mixed bag for me. We'll probably do some of these in 2009 at Bethel, the church where I work. We'll probably do some of those. But they'll take some adjustment. I mean, I don't think this is something I could just throw out there and say, let's do it. Because I do think for all of the talk of doing them exactly as they're supposed to be, as they were written, some of these underpinnings, I think, would be a bit of a distraction. Because they would seem like, hey, you did mess with Amazing Grace. You're singing the right melody, but you kind of mess with it. So anyway, that's my take on How Sweet the Sound, Remember Great Hymns of the Faith from Covenant Life Church. You can check it out on Noise Trade if you want to listen to some samples. Anyway, if you've got CDs that you'd like for me to review, if you've got a worship CD that you've heard that you think is great and you want to share with the world, let me know. I'd love to hear it. So for my Facebook people and for my blog people and my worship notes people, thank you guys for watching. And we'll see you next time.